Okay, so right now we are going to install this Whiteline MT82 transmission bushing on our 2012 Ford Mustang 5-liter. So this would only apply to people who have the MT82 manual transmission, which if it's a manual transmission, it's an MT82. This should only take us 15-20 minutes at the most. So you got 4 19mm bolts and 2 17mm bolts. And then I'll come show you over here what it looks like. If you have a manual Mustang, you've probably looked into this. So if you've ever been driving your Mustang pretty hard and you're slamming through the gears, sometimes you'll get locked out of a gear. And this is the reason why. So your transmission's actually flexing in there, so it's, you know, it's flexing with the torque of the vehicle, so it's just flexing ever so slightly, which is actually locking you out of, usually third gear is the big problem. But what? Third and fifth are the biggest problems, but anyways. So we're going to go ahead and get under the vehicle and install this. And should not take us very long. There's Matthew, our master mechanic. Ford certified.
That's right.
So the first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to need to hold your transmission up. So you see we've got that supported with the jack. Because obviously you take off that bracket, the transmission mount, and you don't want your drive line being the only thing holding your transmission up. Okay, so we took out the 419s and now we have the 215s right here that we'll take out in the center, which is actually holding the bracket onto the transmission. So there's one nut, there's the second nut, and it pops right down. So you'll see the difference in that bushing. You'll see how it's ported, it's got ports in it. It is just allows the transmission to flex way too much. Okay, so the first thing we got to do is grab some grease, grease that baby up, get a hammer just in case, and we should be able to just pop that thing in there, put the bracket back on, and then we're done. So what you have to do is this thing goes through the back, not the front. And with a little bit of grease on there and a little hammer, just slight taps. Okay, so we've been tapping on it for, I don't know, maybe a couple minutes. It just doesn't seem like it's going in, so we have some of these clamps right here, just these hand clamps. So we're going to use these hand clamps to try to clamp that in. We'll just do a little bit at a time. And then what we'll do is just hammer on the tops and just see if those will just push in. So, okay, it's going in slowly but surely. One of our clamps is broken. But as you can see, this works a lot easier than trying to hammer on it. So if you have any sort of like, these are just wood clamps. A mini bar clamp is what it says on the side of it, but I mean, we were hammering on it for a good couple minutes and it just was not moving in. So this definitely works a little bit better to push in there. Okay, now that is in all the way. So what we'll go ahead and do,
Sit in all the way.
what we're going to go ahead and do is just go ahead and hit it with the hammer just a couple more times just to make sure she's snug. Go ahead and throw our 2 bolts onto the transmission and then our four bolts into the body, and she will be done. Okay, and keep in mind the one that's stamped in there is going to go towards the front of the vehicle, just in case you took that off and got it turned around. So, and go ahead and start all your bolts and your nuts by hand. Get them started, you know, at least a few threads, and then you can go ahead and we're gonna hit them with the impact. Now do your 2 15 millimeters first. And then we'll do our 4 19 millimeters. Okay, that is it. We'll go ahead and take it off the jack stands and take her for a test drive. Okay, Matt, what do you think?
It's nice. Nice and smooth.
How much did the bushing cost?
Bushing was $30.
$30.
There's a little bit more vibration that you can feel.
Where can you feel the vibration though?
The stick.
So you just feel it on the knob?
On the knob, yeah. On the shifter.
Do you feel like it goes into gear easier?
Yes, due to the fluid change. There's a Hellcat. Told you. We're in Mexico.
We're in Mexico. It was kilometers an hour, so that was.
Okay, how do you like that Whiteline bushing now?
Beautiful. No lockout whatsoever.
Didn't even try to lock out?
Didn't even try to lock out. Went right into gear just like it's supposed to.